Well, yesterday it was a well-sent message by the boys of Mikel Arteta as they were at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium down in London. North London derby, beating Tottenham convincingly by 2-0, and obviously Arsenal is now 8 points clear ahead of the Premier League table. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. Mikel Arteta, after that game, he really hinted on Mudryk is going to Chelsea. Obviously hinted about Arsenal really being a team and on the rhythm of really winning everything that is going to come across them. And obviously we are having David Austin into this segment, going ahead confirming the words of Mikel Arteta, or retaliating the words of Mikel Arteta that he said on Mudryk. And lastly, we're going to talk about a player known as Okonkwo, the goalkeeper of Arsenal, that has really been called back from a loan move and loaned to another side to see to it that he goes ahead to perfect his goalkeeping skills. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Rokani David is my name. 10,000 subscribers that we have, and we've already hit 10,100 something. So continue to subscribe such that by the end of today, we are having 10,200 subscribers. And slowly by slowly, we'll hit 20,000 subscribers. I know, because numbers don't lie and consistency doesn't lie. I'm consistent in getting you content, and you two are consistent on watching this channel. So we are really getting new members on a daily, close to 100 new members that really join us every day. So I believe we are really on the right track, and that is because of the Lord God that has really given us the blessings to come here and really present to you. Now, yesterday, Arsenal beat Tottenham Hotspur by 2-0. You all know that. Arsenal are really preparing to play against Manchester United. They are not having a game in the midweek as Manchester United, and I think they will play their midweek game. I think their game they have in hand, I think next week, meaning that if United wins against Crystal Palace, they'll go back and reduce the gap they have in between them and Arsenal to 6, meaning that if Arsenal beats United at Emirates, it will be back to 9. And if at all United beats Arsenal, it will be down to 3. If at all they draw, it will remain 6. So all situations that are going to happen around Emirates on Sunday benefit either Arsenal or Manchester United. But I believe Arsenal are really in a very better form to really put us down. Reason being, we are the Emirates. Arsenal is going to be at the Emirates. With the Emirates, lots of things are really going to come in through. So that and more will come in through the match preview on Friday, being the day that most of the people will be outside there to talk about this. Either Thursday or Friday, that's when I'll come up and really do this match preview here onto this channel. I'll be doing one at Manchester United and one at Arsenal, breaking it down in a way that everyone would love to love and really watch and see. Now, Mikel Arteta, after the game of Tottenham Hotspur, he was asked about Mudryk going to Chelsea, and this is what he said. We have excellent players. We have to improve our squad in this transfer window. And when I say we, myself, the coaching staff, the players, the board and ownership, that is via the Arsenal website. Now, he's talking about Arsenal having excellent players. Obviously, there is no doubt that Arsenal were really interested in signing Mudryk. That is no brainer. Arsenal wanted to sign Mudryk, but because they stretched to their limits, and they couldn't stretch any further as far as loosening the strings of their passes were concerned, then Chelsea came in through, added 5 million euros and took the player. Obviously, they would have loved to sign the player, but obviously, they missed out on him because of 5 million euros. And that is a statement made by Arsenal that we won't be ransomed on any deal. So, he's talking about we want to improve our squad in this transfer window. So, however much they've lost Mudryk and they want excellent players, he's still reiterating that they want to improve the squad in this transfer window, not in the summer transfer window. They want to improve their squad in the January transfer window. Quote me right. That's what Mikel Arteta is confirming to us, and obviously that is going to happen because Arsenal are not going to be silent. They are not going to back out as they back out last January, because they learned a very huge lesson for not signing a striker or another player in the January transfer window of 2022. Spurs that really did bring into players Bentancur and Kulusevski, because even Kulusevski was on the ladder of Arsenal and they never signed him, went ahead to clinch the fourth spot and play in the Champions League. Guys, had you ever imagined if at all Arsenal had qualified for the Champions League? You get? I believe even Rafinha wouldn't have gone to Barcelona because Champions League football would have been there. They would have gone ahead to attract very many other good players because they were in the Champions League. When you're in the Champions League, you can sign literally every player that would have snapped you when you're not playing in the Champions League. And even if you are really having players that are really being competed on by other teams, the other team won't really aid you to signing the player because they're in the Champions League. So, as things stand right now, Arsenal want to improve their squad this transfer window. Mikel Arteta has stated it that in the January transfer window, we want to bring in more players. So if I told you an Arsenal fan outside there thinking that Arsenal had called it quits, they are not putting their guns down. Their guns are still facing to the transfer market in these remaining 2 weeks of this transfer window. And I believe they are going to go ahead and really bring in players as soon as possible because the game of Manchester United is not far. They have to play Man City, they have to play Aston Villa, they have to play Everton, Crystal Palace, and very many other games, meaning that they need to broaden their squad as Jesus comes in through and obviously gets back to the playing time. Emily Smith-Rowe is back, and I believe it can act well to them like a charm. Then he said, and when I say we, myself, the coaching staff, the players, and the board, and the ownership. Meaning that it's a collective responsibility and a collective decision taken that we need to get in more players. I think the players of Arsenal really are pestering the manager and the board, get us players through Martin Odegaard. Because Martin Odegaard, the captain, is allowed to go all out and meet the board of Arsenal and really deliver the thoughts of the players to the board. Right now, the thoughts of the players of Arsenal are simple. Get in more players. Get in more players. That's why you saw to it that Gabriel Magalhaes had followed Mudryk, and when Mudryk went to Chelsea, Magalhaes just unfollowed him because the players were told that the player's coming, until when Chelsea came in at the 11th hour and hijacked the deal. So, Arsenal players are too demanding for the players. So the board, the ownership are all in this as a unison. The cohesion they are making is to see to it that Arsenal wins the trophy. Although Arsenal players won't come out and talk about the trophy. Mikel Arteta, every time he's asked about the trophy, is saying we are taking this game by game. But the fact is, Arsenal being 8 points clear right now, with 18 games played, 20 games to go, they need to bring in players, and their aim is to win the Premier League. So, Arteta is confirming to us that Arsenal is wanting to win more trophies. Amidst Mudryk slipping out of their hands to Chelsea, they still want to go ahead and really bring in players at a club known as Chelsea. Then he concluded on that matter by telling us that we are all in this together, but we will do the deals that we can do and that we believe are right for the football club. So, this is something that even Fabrizio told us, that for Arsenal, they believe they don't want to be ransomed. That's it. They want to spend money where it has really value, it's going to bring value, and it's not going to affect the plan or the strategy of the club. And I've seen very many Arsenal fans coming out that indicating that we scouted the player and we missed out on him, but it went out of their hands. When have you ever seen Arsenal stretching to making a bid of 95 million euros in your life? Have you ever had it? Have you ever had it at Arsenal? It last happened in 2019 when Arsenal made a bid of 73 million pounds for a player known as Pepe, and he came out and really flopped at the club, meaning that Arsenal going ahead to spend that amount of money on Mudryk, it was really great. And you should be really happy that now Arsenal can go ahead and really make a bid of close to 100 million euros to sign a player, meaning that you are now in the league of the big boys. Meaning that Arsenal has gone ahead to appreciate and know that to win the league, you need to put a very huge input. So, they really put in their match, and that's why Mikel Arteta is officially telling you that they will do deals that they can do that they believe are right for the football club. They believed that deal of Mudryk was right for the football club, but financially, it wasn't. That's why they backed out of it. And if I told I'm an Arsenal fan, I would have been happy that Arsenal now has 100 million euros on its spending spree, on its disposal. You get? If Arsenal gets in 3 players one of 50 million pounds, another of 30 million pounds, and another of 20 million pounds. What a summer for Arsenal to have. And I believe Arsenal can go ahead and really do these deals because they've scouted players and Edu is really working tooth and nail to see to it that it brings in more players at a club known as Arsenal. Now, even David Austin, you know him very well. He is a correspondent for The Athletic, has gone ahead to confirm to us the same words of Mikel Arteta, that Mikel Arteta does want to strengthen, and Arsenal have a pretty good record in recent years. So don't think they're out of this just yet in terms of reinforcing their squad in January. That's it. So keep in the know that Arsenal are still pushing and looking in for more signings. But he went ahead to conclude by telling us that the word from the Emirates is that the numbers were getting crazy with Shakhtar for Mudryk. They were not prepared to get involved in a bidding war. They will only sign players if it makes sense financially and improves the squad. So, Arsenal fans, relax. Your team is really on the right track. And few of you thought that Arsenal could be into the title race. Why are you coming out and blaming Mikel Arteta for not bringing in Mudryk? Yet most of you thought that your aim and big dream this season is to go back to the Champions League and maybe clinch the 4th spot, because you thought City and Liverpool were way far ahead of you. By 18 games played into the season, it has been proved to us that Arsenal is the better team in the Premier League. So they have the plan, believe in them, just believe in them, and you'll see them present magic to you, because you never saw this coming. I think one of the few who predicted that this season Arsenal is going to clinch 90 points if at all they bring in 4 signings. And they did bring in more than 4. They brought in Jesus, they brought in Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira, Marquinhos, and Matt Turner. Those are 5 signings. I had talked about 4. So, few of you thought that Arsenal could even clinch 90 points, but I really predicted it, that if at all they bring in 4 players, they are going to get those points, because I knew that they lost most of the games last season because they never at all had a wide squad. Now, in the January transfer window, Arsenal are not yet out. They are in. They are trying to master and really get in more deals. Now, after Satan, fear players. A player who kept on really waiting ahead liking tweets of Arsenal and so on, Mudryk, when he joined Chelsea, hear what he said. I'm so happy to sign for Chelsea. This is a huge club. Premier League is a fantastic league, and it's a very attractive project for me at this stage of my career. I'm excited to meet my teammates, and I'm looking forward to working under Graham Potter. So that is what Mudryk said when he joined a team known as Chelsea permanently. Yesterday, you saw him on the screens when Chelsea was beating Crystal Palace by 1-0 at the Stamford Bridge, meaning that it would be one of the kickstarters of Graham Potter's long winning run, because their next game, they are playing Liverpool. Are they going to go at Anfield and get a result? Let's wait and see. Now, on yesterday's result, Mikel Arteta went ahead to confirm to us that the victory of Spurs, whether it's worth more than 3 points, he said psychologically and emotionally, this has a big emotional attachment, because there is a big history between the two clubs, and it means so much for us and our people to win this game of football. Obviously, psychologically and emotionally, Arsenal had a huge pressure onto them. Now, Arsenal has passed all tests. Trust me, the acid tests that Arsenal has been placed in front of them, they've gone ahead to pass them. This was, I think, the last one. I think this is the second last one. Because the last one, I think, those 2 games are going to play against City. Because if City goes ahead to beat Arsenal in those games, they are like 3 or 2 points behind Arsenal. If Arsenal wins 1 and draws 1, that means they would have stretched their lead from 8 to 11. You get? So, it's really the last test for me for Arsenal. All the tests, Arsenal have passed them. The test of Spurs was simple. You were 8 points ahead of City. So you had the chance to go ahead and really be 8 points ahead of City after City drew with a certain team there. Then you drew against Newcastle. That's it. So you went back to 5. Now, a chance befalls Arsenal. United beats Man City at Old Trafford. Arsenal has a chance to go ahead and win the game to see to it that they are now 8 points ahead of City again. But guess what? There were lots of blocks into this fixture. Spurs had really not given Arsenal a chance to win at their stadium for the last 9 years. They last won at the Spurs Stadium in 2013-2014. The Seasons were there. The Rosiskis were still there. So that was when Arsenal last got a result at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. By that time, it was White Hart Lane. So as things stood by then, it really boiled out that Arsenal had a very huge game to play against the North London derby team known as Spurs. That is a derby. Secondly, they had not won for 9 years. Thirdly, they had pressure on them that if at all they win or lose, people will downplay them, that they really went ahead to really blow out chances or bottle out chances of really being 8 points ahead of City. And that would have said that Arsenal are not ready to win the trophy because City has granted them a chance twice to be 8 points clear and they've really blown it. So that's why Mikel Arteta is talking about the impact of this team and the win of a team known as Arsenal yesterday and what it meant to a side of Arsenal. Now, lastly, let's go into for this goalkeeper known as Okonkwo. He's really one of the goalkeepers of Arsenal, and we've been told by the Arsenal website that Arsenal goalkeeper Okonkwo has been recalled from his loan at Crew Alexandria and has joined SK Sturm Graz on loan for the remainder of the season. That's what they've told us on the transfer of this guy. Then they went ahead to let us know that the 21-year-old goalkeeper has already made 26 appearances in all competitions for Crew Alexandria this season and will now spend the second half of the campaign playing in Australian Bundesliga. So good to see that Arsenal are really nurturing more talent and good talent to come in through and really take them through to the next level, because this is the next step of clubs to do. You have to go ahead and really fish that talent when it's still young, groom it, and really see to it that they really come up to your first team. When you look at Arsenal right now, they're having players that they spent little on, like William Saliba, but they're really doing a great job, because if Saliba was not here, Arsenal would have gone ahead to spend close to 30 or 40 million pounds in the summer to bring in a central defender. Look at Bukayo Saka from the academy. Right now, Bukayo Saka is worth 150 million pounds. Where would Arsenal have gotten that money to buy a player like Bukayo Saka? Gabriel Martinelli, they brought him on a cheap. Emily Smith-Rowe, doing great job for the club of Arsenal. So that's why they're really focusing so much onto the academy. Obviously, the likes of the Nwaneris are really coming in through the city. They really put everything in order for the club known as Arsenal. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Tell me what your thoughts are on Arteta hinting on Mudryk is going to Chelsea and snubbing Arsenal. Then David Austin, what are your thoughts about his comments that Arsenal are really not going to be ransomed and they are still 100% in the market? Even Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Arsenal are still in the market. And what are your thoughts about the win against Spurs and Okonkwo going to the Australian Bundesliga League down there to see to it that he really goes ahead to do the needful and really improve his goalkeeping skills? Rokani David is my name. Thank you guys for watching. Through, continue to subscribe, smash the like button close to 300 times, and let's see to it that we really keep ourselves in the know by hitting the black button that has the word subscribe. Hit the notification bell that will enable you to get notified every time we upload a video onto this channel. And you know, good afternoon. I hand you over to the Almighty Lord. May He bless your day. May He make you what you want to be. May Him see you receive the best that you want today, or the best that you're really crying or claiming for from Him. I'm out.